September brings in a powerful super harvest moon. It's the first full moon after the equinox on September 29th. And this is a full moon that is spiritual. It is sacred and mystical. It is where the veil is very, very thin. In this update, I'm going to show you all about this full moon and how you can really use this energy to help you walk more with a foot in both worlds. You're a spiritual being in the physical world, and how do we do that better? This full moon is going to help you to do that. Hi, I'm Prema. Welcome to Chart Your Path. I'm a Vedic astrologer, and I appreciate you being here. Feel free to like and subscribe. This full moon on September 29th at 2:57 a.m. Pacific time. It really calls us home spiritually to reclaim our wholeness. It's in Pisces. Pisces is the natural 12th house of the zodiac. This is Vedic astrology. I am a Vedic astrologer. And if you're wondering, what's your Vedic astrology sign, there's a free chart calculator in the description or comments below. So the 12th house is Pisces. It is where we dissolve back into the divine, the oneness that we are, moksha. It is a water sign, water in the form of steam. And steam has the ability to seep into the nooks and crannies, and it can permeate things. And this is where the veil is very thin. We're called to really dissolve back home into the divine, back into oneness. The full moon, which in the Sacred Wealth Code system is the Queen and the Great Nurturer. The full moon is opposite the sun, which is the leader in Virgo right now. And that's what makes a full moon. The moon and the sun have to be opposite one another. Moon has no light. It is reflecting the light of the sun. But the moon in Vedic astrology is our consciousness. And so the light allows us, the light of consciousness, to see more. So we can see more, and we can see more of when a full moon, just like you can walk outside and see more at night, you can also see more of what's coming up for you and also what's up for healing. Pisces really helps us to let go, to release, to surrender and relinquish. And those might not be things you think of in the physical world as, okay, I can't wait to surrender and release, but that allows us to be able to live closer to the truth of who we are, to attune to the subtle realms, including our intuition. And this full moon has the ability to really heighten our intuition, our psychic abilities. The veil is very thin here, and it is a very emotional full moon. So one of the things that jams our circuits is when we aren't able to decipher the information coming at us. Is this information coming from our intellect? Is it coming from somebody else or some programming? Or is it coming from our own intuition? That's exactly one of the things we'll be working on in the Healing Circle on the 28th. The link is down below. I invite you to join me. We are always doing deep clearing healing with sound and mantra and sound healing and mantra, really deep meditative practices. Clearing. So this is very transcendental. It's a cosmic full moon. This is where, the Pisces Virgo axis is the practicality of the real world and details. That's where the sun is in Virgo, joined by Mars, our great engineer and our great honorable warrior right now. And in Pisces, which is actually ruled by Jupiter. I'm looking for my visionary and my sage right now. It's really the energy of the sage, the visionary as well. And so with this energy, we're being called to walk with a foot in both worlds. Now, we've got some things that are making this a little bit more challenging, but there's a big opening here. So one of the challenging aspects is that Mars, our great engineer, and our honorable warrior is sitting in Virgo and a little bit frustrated there in Virgo. So it wants to get things done preferably yesterday. And so that is can be a little bit of a frustrating energy that's been going on. Mars would like things to be moving faster, likes to be productive. But then also conjunct this full moon, we've got Neptune, and Neptune can really open us up even more so to the other side and to the spirit realm and intuition, but also to fantasy, and can be more sort of on the checking out side of things. So the energy is pretty extreme on several different levels, but it is a beautiful opening, and used the right way, you're really going to be able to connect with some visions that are going to drop in for you, some intuitive hits that are going to help you to take your next steps so that you are living your divinity, your higher path here in your life, and the clarity to see through the illusion. We've got Mercury, the merchant, and the great communicator is finally direct, bringing in clarity. And in the beginning of October, Mercury is going to get exalted in Virgo, and that's going to help our clarity. But the clarity, with the veil being this thin, if you know how to decipher it, is really going to allow you to be able to tune into the other side. Let's face it, you are a multidimensional being. You are not just here. This is not just the only world. And when we sort of take the lid off of your life and your reality, you realize that, wow, you exist in a lot of places at one time, that you have a lot of guides, you're connected to a lot of different energies at many levels. You are an eternal being. You are a starseed. So there's a lot of information available to you if you can open up your perception, and this full moon will help you to do that. With Neptune here too, the dreams are going to be very vivid and very pretty, out of this world. So make sure you have your dream journal next to your bed. You're going to want more time for meditation. So take it. Don't just know that, think about it. Actually do it. Sit down, close your eyes, allow yourself to get quiet. None of us get enough quiet time. We need some time in silence so that more of our soul, more of us can come through to us. The shadow side here of Pisces is checking out. It's really about checking in, not checking out. So be careful of that. So if you just want to binge watch and get into fantasy or whatever, you can do that if you want, but you're going to miss out on this really deep opening, and for you to connect with your psychic abilities at a whole other level. Do you trust your intuition? Can you tell what's coming through from the other side? That's exactly what we're going to be working on in the Healing Circle this month. This is a placement where, if you have planets in Pisces, whenever the moon's there, we all have Pisces somewhere in our chart. This is the place of empaths. And when you're a sensitive empath, you may not know boundaries, and you need to know boundaries. And Saturn really brings in our boundary energy. But we can sense and we can merge. Now that's great when we're merging in meditation, for instance, but we need to be careful about that in our daily lives. We need to have healthy boundaries. So the veil is very thin. It's very otherworldly here. It's important to keep our feet on the ground and stay grounded. Lots of ways to stay grounded. Walk in nature, get physical. Mars wants us to get physical. Get physical, exercise, be in your body, feel your body. Just even being aware of the fact that you feel your intuition is another way. Get connected with the earth, be in nature. You don't have to carry rocks in your pockets or put sandbags on you or a weighted blanket, but that also can be really helpful at times, okay? So just know yourself and what you need. The full moon is in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Now, Uttara Bhadrapada is in Pisces, but it's ruled actually by Saturn. Nakshatras tend to be ruled by a different planet than not always. Can be ruled by a different planet than the sign that they are in. It's the grouping of stars, and it's ruled by Saturn. Saturn is our great administrator, our great organizer, and gives us that discipline and that practicality to walk the spiritual path. In fact, the administrator, and I believe I have the administrator behind me, the mantra for the Sacred Wealth Code Administrator is, I'll read it right off the card, I walk with a foot in both the earthly and spiritual worlds. Saturn's a master at that. So that's one of the reasons this is such a great opportunity to connect with this energy and heal what keeps us from being able to be in both worlds and get lost or not get lost, or get entangled or not entangled. So Bhadra means blessed, Pada means feet, and this is Again, our feet are so important. They carry us through this world. I'm using the terminology walk with a foot in both worlds as a metaphor, but you get what I mean. And sometimes it feels like we're doing the splits, walking with a foot in both worlds, as they're far apart. They can be far apart, but not if we have a spiritual practice. If we have a spiritual practice, we're coming home each and every day. It's one of the reasons I created the healing circles, because it's a monthly practice. No matter what, you're going to dive deep, come in, do some clearing to help you to be more connected, be more present. Being present is a spiritual practice. Being grateful is a spiritual practice. Also represented by the funeral cot, Uttara Bhadrapada is, the back legs, the front legs are Purva Bhadrapada, and funeral cot, like what the heck, Prema? So funeral cot, that's because it means, Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac. Before we go into Aries and rebirth again, it is the end of the soul's journey. It's very spiritual. And so this is where we dissolve back into oneness, back into the divine. And it takes surrender. So some of the soul wisdom questions here are, what do you need to surrender in order to walk more closely with the divine? What do you need to surrender in order to keep yourself on your path in this world, like firmly with a foot on your purposeful path and firmly walking with the divine? Agni is the fire god, and which is represented here, which gives us the ability to burn off the dross, to burn off the things that are in our way, so to speak. And the Kundalini is very heightened, the sixth chakra, very open here. And with heightened Kundalini, we get experiences, but you'll get those if you take the time to do some spiritual practice during this time. Mantra is incredibly good for this, as well as meditation, yoga, sound healing. Align and open up your energy. Saturn is all about discipline. Discipline is not a bad thing. It gets a bad rap. I like the definition, disciple of the one, really walking with the divine. So this gives us what we need for spiritual growth. It's in this placement of Uttara Bhadrapada, it's also known as the cosmic rain. That cosmic rain is that psychic ability, that intuition, the information coming through the other side, the experiences, the visions coming through the other side. But you have to surrender and transcend to receive those. So every time we go to sleep at night, we surrender and we have dreams. And that's one way we surrender. But we can consciously surrender through meditation, through clearing and healing and letting go of what's clogging up our mind and keeping us from being ever so present, because we can have some of those same that psychic ability and that intuition right here in broad daylight with our eyes open when we're ever so present and able to do that. So the other energy I want to bring in here is that this is such a sacred placement, and it really calls us to bring the sacred back to life. Back to your life. Do you sit down and say grace when you have a meal? Are you grateful? We say thank you a lot, but do you feel the essence of your gratitude? Gratitude is incredibly high frequency, as high as love is, but you have to tune in and really feel it. We can't just, say these things, so to speak. And it's about, again, walking our path. Just even picking one thing. Okay, I'm really going to tune into gratitude and live more gratefully can be incredibly powerful during this time. So staying present, very, very present, is this full moon opens a healing portal, gives us access to rare mystical powers, deep intuition, psychic abilities, so that we can find the blocks that are hidden from plain sight. They are going to come through the veil to see the truth and do the necessary healing. So if you're ready to activate and trust your intuition like never before, or if you've been struggling with accessing it, trusting it? Do I even have psychic abilities? Are you letting those inform your choices? Then you're not alone. There's been a lot going on, a lot of retrograde energy. There's more information coming at you to jam your circuits all the time. It hasn't been easy, even if you used to be able to connect with your abilities. But the time is now. And I want to invite you to join me in the Full Moon Healing Circle on September 28th. The link is down below. And these are incredibly transformative experiences. We do mantra, we do sound healing, singing bowls. I give you a deeper update about how this is all affecting you. And we do a very deep cleansing and healing. You just get to sit back, relax, and allow the energy to shift for you. Things will change, you will feel it, and you'll walk away not only with more connection to your abilities, intuition, your psychic abilities, but how you're going to use them going forward. Again, the link is in the description, in the comments down below. So another thing that's going on with this full moon before we wrap up is the 2 weeks following this full moon is Pitru Pacha, which always happens with the full moon after the equinox. And this is it's a Hindu celebration about honoring our ancestors and healing our karma, so that we're really claiming our freedom and releasing the past. So this full moon really sets off this energy of releasing the past in a big way. On October 14th, we will have a solar eclipse. The eclipse pattern is moving to Pisces and to Virgo. That's the magician and the mystic in the Sacred Wealth Code system. And in Vedic Astrology, this moves on November 30th. After this set of eclipses, you want to know what the lesson is for this last eclipse pattern, the last year and a half. We're going to get hit one more time with this eclipse pattern, and then this whole pattern shifts out. It is going to be a total solar eclipse. I will do an update on this. I will do an update on the lunar eclipse. I will do an update on all the October updates, so subscribe, stay tuned for all of that. But if you go into the next eclipse pattern without having to fully gotten the lesson, because these eclipses agitate certain areas of life, and if you haven't fully gotten the lesson, what happens is you just keep on running those patterns underneath everything else while you're also being called to land other lessons. The eclipse patterns agitate certain areas of life so that we grow, so that we let go of certain things, so we embrace other things. Opportunities and magic happens, but also we have those really hard things that happen when we're really called to let go. So if you'd like to know how all of that is hitting you, I am running an eclipse special over the next couple of weeks. Half price eclipse readings. The link is down below. Feel free to email me, message me, tag me, whatever. I'll get you in there, and we'll find out what this cycle of growth has been for you, and what the next cycle is, so that you know where you're coming from and where you are, what you're going to be working with next. You'll have all of that, including the timely transits that are happening as well. All right, links to everything is down below. I love you being here. Thank you so much for being part of the community, and so much love to you.